So a couple hours ago, as many of you may know at this point, the Smash community as a whole had a massive bombshell dropped on them. The upcoming Smash World Tour Championships and the entirety of the 2023 Smash World Tour must be canceled. For those of you who don't know, prior to Panda Cup, Smash World Tour was like the big circuit where every major tournament, or most major tournaments, would give you points like to qualify towards Smash World Tour, which is this big like championship. It's like the Super Bowl of Smash Bros. And that has just been canceled indefinitely. Not just the championship this year, but the entirety of the circuit for 2023. And today we're going to go through some of this article explaining why and how that happened. I'm going to show you guys a couple tweets from the Smash community, and we are going to figure out what's going on here. Is Smash dead, and what part does Panda play in all of this? All right. So to start off, they go through this introduction, basically just saying that they're unbelievably sad that they have to do this. That the day before Thanksgiving, they received a cease and desist notice from Nintendo, requiring them to stop all events. They said that this was a major surprise to them because over the past year, they've been talking to Nintendo and felt that they were making great progress, and that Smash World Tour would potentially be partnering with Nintendo as well, just like many of you know Panda Cup has done. And then they go on to explain how we got here. And I'll just start right here. Nintendo reached out to us to let us know that they had been watching us build over the years, wanted to see if this was in the past. This was last year. I think about a year ago now. Nintendo reached out to let us know they had been watching us build over the years, wanted to see if we were interested in working with them, pursuing a license as well. So just like Panda has, Nintendo reached out to them. It was like, hey, we want to give you a similar deal. We want to get involved with the Smash community. Kind of like what everybody was hoping for, right? When we heard that the Panda Cup was happening. They made it clear that Panda's partnership was not exclusive. They said it had not gone unnoticed, that we had not infringed on their IP regarding game modifications, and had represented Nintendo's values well. So in the past, Nintendo has had problems with the Smash community, as a lot of you know. But apparently the biggest issue that they had was just modded content. So people were bringing modded Switches or modded Wiis or whatever, or like the whole thing with Project M. All that modded content apparently is the reason that Nintendo had not approved of the Smash community in the past. And so they reached out and said, hey, we saw that you stopped doing all that modded stuff. We like that. You're doing a good job. We want to give you a partnership too. Made it clear that game modifications were their primary concern in regards to coming down on events, which also made sense to us given their enforcement over the past few years in that regard. And then they go on to say that that conversation changed their perspective with Nintendo, and that they had hopes that they'd be able to build and create a relationship. We went into 2021's championships a lot more confident. We were still skeptical to take what they said at face value given Nintendo's history with the community. We specifically held off announcing 2022 Smash World Tour at that event per the request of Nintendo. The aim was to get licensed before our 2022 tour was announced and kicked off in March. So this is early this year. They're supposed to start in March. They put in their, I think they go on later to say it, they put in their official request for a license in January. So keep that in the back of your head for later. During the time period from December to March, we continued our talks with Nintendo. For the first time, we felt like Nintendo was being consistently straightforward, transparent, and direct in answering our questions. Awesome. That's great. We also began finalizing details of the 2022 Smash World Tour with various tournament organizers around the world, this time with more confidence than ever. However, we quickly found that many organizers were concerned about joining up in 2022. They told us that they had been told by Alan, the CEO and co-founder of Panda, that we were going to get shut down and were not coming back in 2022. So this is where the big bombshell drops. The CEO of Panda, despite Nintendo telling everybody the deal's not exclusive, nobody's going to get shut down, we see that you're respecting our rules and we want to give you a partnership too. The CEO of Panda is saying the opposite. He's going around telling all these tournament organizers who run the tournaments that are part of the Smash World Tour circuit that Smash World Tour is going to get shut down, and you don't want to be part of Smash World Tour. You got to join up with Panda. You got to get on the Panda Cup because they're getting shut down. Of course, this directly contradicted our conversations with Nintendo, but we felt we could not defend ourselves properly to organizers because we felt that our conversations with Nintendo should be kept private until we had our seemingly imminent licensing deal. Yeah, that's fair. So we decided to approach Nintendo with this very issue directly, explaining the attempted sabotage that was going on and our inability to speak freely. Excuse me. Nintendo was very sympathetic to our situation, reassured us on a few counts. They reminded us and reassured us that Nintendo was only looking to shut down IP infringement related to game mods and not the unlicensed Smash World Tour. They reassured them that the Panda Global or the Panda CEO does not represent Nintendo and that they would have to have a conversation with him about this behavior. So they're directly addressing like, hey, he should not be going around telling people that. Like, that is not cool at all. And it's not true. So don't worry about it. They reminded us, reassured us that Panda's license is not exclusive and that they can see the two circuits coexisting. They reminded us that Nintendo's goal was not to gatekeep or trap the community and that license guidelines would be accessible and clear. They go on to say that that bolstered their confidence, and they were feeling good about it. They're like, okay, well, this guy's just being a dick, don't worry about him. Unfortunately, the attempt from Panda to undermine the Smash World Tour did not stop, as the CEO continued to tell organizers we were definitely not coming back in 2022, and if we did, we'd get shut down shortly after announcement. Furthermore, organizers were told their individual events would also be at risk if they were on the Smash World Tour. So, the reason he's doing this is because all these events don't want to join the Panda Cup, because they go on to mention this later in the article, and I'll skip over that part since I'm explaining it now. So the CEO of Panda went and reached out to these event organizers and told them that if they were to join Panda Cup, they would not be allowed to join Smash World Tour and that it would have to be exclusive. After Nintendo had already said that it wasn't exclusive, and after Smash World Tour had also said that you can be part of Panda Cup and Smash World Tour and that they were down to coexist and that that's all fun and good. But Panda had a problem with that, apparently. And once tournament organizers were like, no, we're not going to drop from Smash World Tour mid-season just to join Panda Cup. Like, that's weird. I'll only do it if we can do both. Panda had like 4 events for Panda Cup. So they eventually dropped that whole rule of, we have to be exclusive. And they let the circuits coexist. As Smash World Tour originally wanted to do, as Nintendo had preached. But it only got to that point after the Panda CEO tried to threaten these organizers by saying that if they played on this, if they were part of the Smash World Tour, that they were going to get shut down. They wouldn't be allowed to continue existing. And a few organizers told us that this directly is the primary reason why they did not participate in the tour this year, which we completely understood. So he is successfully sabotaging Smash World Tour now because he obviously sees them as competition. Sorry, ADHD brain. We did not want organizers to feel like it would add any risk to be on the Smash World Tour, even if we believed that behind the scenes everything was okay based on what Nintendo had told us directly. Nintendo's response to our application came slowly, which did not surprise us. They reached out in March, a few days before our announcement, and we went back and forth on the feasibility of the scope, especially since our tour was global and Nintendo of America would have to coordinate with other Nintendo. Yeah, see, all this, just complications, why it was taking so long. It's a global thing, and Nintendo has like different sections for each country. Like there's Nintendo Japan, Nintendo America, and I'm sure a bunch of other Nintendos for every other country. But eventually they ran out of time. There was time, like they had to announce their circuit. They had to go. Like it's March, it's go time, and we still don't have this license approved. So they made their announcement without the formal license. And still we relied on our other conversations with Nintendo and pressed forward with the 2022 tour. So they believed that like as long as they weren't doing modded content and following like Nintendo's rules, everything was going to be gravy. It was all going to be good. But that is not what happened. And let's go to this section titled Panda Cup. Around this same time, Panda Cup began heavily recruiting events. A lot of this is going to be what I already went over, so I'll just go over it briefly here. They began heavily recruiting events for their circuit. The CEO continued to tell organizers we'd be getting shut down shortly. Also added that any events that participated in the Panda Cup would not be allowed to be on the Smash World Tour. This exclusivity surprised us not only because of our Nintendo conversations regarding coexisting, but also because we were not exclusive. So this just goes back to what I was saying. They're we don't care. We can both exist at the same time. But Panda's like, no, I want all the tournaments. It's corporate greed. The more tournaments they have on their circuit, the more sponsors they're going to get, the more money they're potentially going to make. Well, Smash, like, so Panda here represents, like, the corporate greed, while Smash World Tour is very grassroots and doing it for the community, and often, like, running events at a loss, which is not uncommon in the Smash scene. We don't have support from Nintendo like Panda does. The whole thing is just so sad, man, because it's the corporate greed won. After everything that Nintendo said and, like, all the reassurance that we were given and that Smash World Tour was given, they just completely, like, turned on a dime. And then there's this part here about Beyond the Summit. First, Panda targeted events that were not on Smash World Tour, including those who did not join because of the aforementioned warnings. A few of these events had broadcast deals with the popular tournament broadcaster Beyond the Summit, also known as BTS. The CEO of Panda wanted broadcasting rights to be included as part of the deal of the events joining the Panda Cup. Most of the events refused to break their contracts, so Panda approached Beyond the Summit directly to try to get the rights instead. Right, so they're going to these events and being like, yeah, Beyond the Summit, the company that gets all the viewers for every major, them and VG Bootcamp are, like, the two big ones, right? They're like, no, break your deal with them and let us stream it. And they were like, no, why the fuck would we do that? That's stupid. And BTS, then when Panda reached out to BTS, was like, no, why would we do that? That's stupid. BTS had very little motivation to give up the broadcasting rights for free, so they declined to get involved, causing the CEO of Panda to escalate things quickly. We were told they made a variety of threats to Beyond the Summit, including shutting down their entire Smash operation in 2023. Dude, how small is this dude's dick to be, like, going around trying to strong-arm everybody like that? Like, oh, if you don't join up with us, you're done for. You're out of here, bucko. It's insane, man. It looks so bad. Did he think that all of this wasn't going to be released to the public and that people wouldn't find out? Nobody's going to support Panda anymore, bro. If I know anything about the Smash community, they will not support Panda after this. And this isn't the first time Panda's messed up either. Do you remember when everybody gave them thousands of dollars for their sick new Panda controller, and then they just kept all the money and never released the controller? What the hell was up with that? Not to mention they got eSam. Okay, alright, we won't get into that. But after BTS held firm, the CEO of Panda warned that they would get Nintendo directly involved, putting broadcast rights for all tournaments in jeopardy. So Panda clearly just doesn't care about the Smash community as a whole. They don't care how badly the players or the community is affected. They just want total control. And I think the CEO at least really reflects that. I can't speak on the players or the other employees, but this CEO is just an evil guy, man. I don't understand his motivation for any of this when they could have just coexisted, right? In the end, most events with Beyond the Summit broadcasting contracts chose to side with BTS, did not join the Panda Cup after all the turmoil. Yeah, because at this point, everybody's like, bro, this guy is on a power trip. What is going on? During all this, we still kept an open line of communication with Nintendo as we prepared our submissions for our championships event. We also expressed our serious concern about how Panda was talking to community organizers and their lack of ethics and how they approached Beyond the Summit. All this is stressing me out so much to the point. Cheers, guys. Oh, fuck. This is such a sad day for the Smash community as a whole. It didn't have to be like this, And it seemed like Nintendo was, like, agreeing, like, yeah, it doesn't have to be like this. We can exist together. We want to sponsor your event too. And then they just completely, I don't understand why. And we'll get to the part later where they explain, like, the announcement from Nintendo. And I still just don't understand why. It doesn't help. Where was I? We have been reassured that the CEO of Panda does not speak for Nintendo and that they are frustrated with all the fracturing happening behind the scenes due to his behavior. So it seems like Nintendo is just as mad as everybody else at this point. Like, bro, why is he acting like this? We shouldn't have partnered with this guy. We also discussed strategy in submitting our new application for the December event, including potentially changing the name of the Smash World Tour and if that would be beneficial. We cannot get into specifics of license requirements due to our NDA with Nintendo, but again, Nintendo was very helpful in the preparation process. We were on the right track to submit again, this time with many months of lead time. We submitted our proposal on April 9th, 2022. After many events declined, Panda had no choice but to pursue events that were already on the Smash World Tour, meaning they would have to drop off the Smash World Tour mid-season to join Panda Cup. I talked about this a little bit earlier too. For many organizers, this was a deal breaker. They saw no reason that their event could not have points count towards both circuits. Right, because that doesn't make any sense. Why wouldn't they be able to? They were also concerned that more fracturing could occur. At this point, Panda Cup was not left with many events for their circuit. However, at some point in April, the exclusivity rule changed and events became eligible to be on both. So basically, this was when Panda kind of gave up. They were like, okay, well, no tournaments are joining our series now. This doesn't look good for Big Papi Nintendo. So, well, we're going to drop that rule. Maybe we can coexist. The Panda Cup was finally announced on May 26, 2022. Our communications slowed down dramatically with Nintendo, since at this point all we were waiting for was the next steps regarding our December championships and beginning talks for the 2023 Smash World Tour. Nintendo was very slow to respond, yada yada yada. We continued to push back the announcement for the championships in the hopes that following Nintendo's directives would help our relationship in planning for 2023. After no response for months, we felt that we finally had no choice but to announce the championships in August. Nintendo finally responded and mentioned another event that had their team incredibly busy, which is why there were delays. So Panda Cup, basically. Like, yeah, sorry, we had a lot going on with the Panda Cup, so we didn't respond to you for months. They were very apologetic for the long silence and said they completely understood that we had to announce the event. They mentioned that discussions have been much slower than expected and that there had not been any decision made yet. After continued delays, we finally reconvened with Nintendo at the end of September, nearly 4 months after our submission. Nintendo once again reassured us nothing had been decided yet and apologized for how long the process had taken. They also reminded us that the Panda Cup execution, relationship, and the behavior of the CEO were all under evaluation, and it created a very complex situation which Nintendo could not react to quickly. We raised concerns from organizers who were concerned about Panda being involved next year, as well as the future of the Smash World Tour. We offered to sit down with whoever else it may be beneficial to talk to. Blah, 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 blah. There's there's multiple people who make decisions. Who do we got to talk to? Let's figure this out. Because many of these people probably don't have full context and think that we just announced our tournament without a license. Nintendo said things were getting out of hand regarding the timeline and that they will try to get the conversations progressing again. We were frustrated. We still had no concerns about operating Smash World Tour, just about whether we'd be able to obtain a license and actively work with Nintendo on building in the community. And then here's the final chapter, the shutdown. We were not able to reconvene with Nintendo again until November, nearly 7 months after our application submission, because they submitted all the way back in April, and this is just to get their single championship, like the finale, licensed. In January, they tried to get the whole tour licensed. So it's been an entire year now, pretty much, and no progress has been made. While Panda Cup is just running freely. At this point, we were only 1 month out from the championships. We pressed Nintendo a bit harder on how things were progressing. They said it had been a very complex issue navigating the planning for commercial licensing, but they were very empathetic to us feeling backburnered, especially given the context of Panda Cup's messy inception and execution. And that's putting it lightly. Nintendo told us that there are many decision makers involved. Some have been advocating very hard for the community, the Smash World Tour, and the importance of the relationship to grassroots organizers. We again requested an opportunity to potentially meet with some of the other decision makers. We were worried they didn't know the full context of what had taken place this year. Nintendo said they will see what they can do and that we should continue to meet regularly to discuss future planning. And this is the big bombshell. Finally, last Wednesday evening, November 23rd, the day before Thanksgiving, we had our most recent call with Nintendo. Our Nintendo rep opened by letting us know that they are being asked to deliver the news that going forward, Nintendo expects us to only operate with a commercial license, and that we would not be granted one for the upcoming championships or any activity in 2023. We received this in writing as well. So that's a warning. That's a cease and desist, basically. That's you have to stop doing this without a license, and we are not going to give you one, so get fucked. After all of the progress that had been made in conversations and all of the reassuring that, oh, you guys aren't going to get shut down, I promise you don't have to worry about that, you're following our rules, we respect you, we would never shut you down. That Panda guy, he's crazy. Like, whoo, sheesh. And then they're just like, oh, by the way, you guys aren't allowed to do anything anymore. And your huge tournament that's in 1 month that like thousands of players have spent a lot of money like trying to qualify for and like booking flights and hotels. Yeah, you can't do that. It's canceled. We asked if they could clarify the reasoning for their decision. Initially, Nintendo gave us a reason that seemed to be misinformed, and when we pushed back to ask for more details, Nintendo said they were unable to give any specifics and had to speak in generalities moving forward. This was very frustrating given everything we had been told all year regarding accessibility and transparency in requirements. It felt as though Nintendo simply did not want the Smash World Tour to continue to exist. At this point, we now felt we had been strung along for this entire time. As a last-ditch effort, we asked if we could continue running the championships and the tour next year without a license and shift our focus to working with them in 2024. We alluded to how the last year functioned in that capacity with a mutual understanding that we would not get shut down and focus on the future. We were told directly that those times were now over. This was the final nail in the coffin given our very particular relationship with Nintendo. This is when we realized it truly was all being shut down for real. We asked if they understood the waves that would be made if we were forced to cancel, and Nintendo communicated that they were indeed aware. So Nintendo's like, yeah, we're going to drop this nuclear fucking bomb, and we don't care what happens. Maybe not the best reference because they're a Japanese company, but moving on. Since this took place the night before Thanksgiving, it was incredibly difficult to process this completely unexpected bombshell. And we've been working around the clock ever since. Sorry, it's not funny. It's really sad, actually. Once again, we want to apologize to every single person affected by this, including the players, staff, contractors, organizers, and fans. We also apologize for any of those who we could not communicate with these past few days. As you can imagine, this was an enormous decision that was not taken lightly. We had a lot to prepare to get everything sorted. We did not want to risk any premature leaks. We worked to get the statement out as quickly as possible. We will be in touch with all staff, contractors, and attendees regarding refunds, helping with travel arrangement changes, etc. So that's about the gist of it. They sum it up here in the conclusion, but that's the full story of what happened. Basically, to summarize it for you guys, Nintendo strung Smash World Tour along, told them that they could work together and that the two circuits could coexist, while Panda continued to make threats that seemed like empty threats, but now I'm wondering if they knew something. If Nintendo was telling them something like completely different stuff from what they were telling the Smash World Tour. Because it seems like he knew this was going to happen all along. And you know how he was saying that all tournaments that participate in Smash World Tour are also getting shut down? Well, VGBC posted this recently. Earlier today, like right after the announcement of Smash World Tour being canceled. Uncertainty regarding video game boot camp's future. And it links to this Google Doc where they are canceling their upcoming majors. Glitch, Duel of Fates, and Double Down 2023. So it seems like he knew what he was talking about. And those threats weren't just empty threats. Which is really scary and messed up. Like, the misinformation is it's insane and it's sad. We've been so spoiled with having these Smash tournaments to watch and to go to for a lot of like the big players almost every weekend. And even if Smash doesn't have like the same prize pool as other esports, we at least had our tournaments to go to and to watch as spectators. And now it's all being shut down except for the officially licensed Panda Cup. Every tournament is, from what it looks like, every other tournament is not going to be allowed to continue existing, which is truly just tragic, man. It's sad. I don't really have anything good to say about it. This is just fucked up. Corporate greed does not belong in Super Smash Bros. This has been a grassroots community since the beginning, since Melee, since 64. But Melee really is what blew it up, obviously. It's just fuck that it's come to this. Fuck Nintendo. Fuck Panda. And to end it off, I'm going to show you guys this. This is a parody account. This isn't the real Panda Global. They said, yeah, we definitely keeping all that controller money. LMFAO. We got to end the video on a positive note, right? Like, that's fucking funny. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will see you all in the next one, and peace out. Bye. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I also stream. Come by the streams. I stream Monday. Nope. I was going to say Monday through Friday. That's still the old schedule, nasty. I stream every day except for Sunday and Tuesday. Those are my 2 days off. So I'll be live. Today's Tuesday. I'll be live tomorrow. I'm going to be playing in Coinbox, trying to make a good little tournament run. And I will see you guys there, hopefully. Have a great rest of your night. Peace.